I do not like the idea of I have to punish kids. I'm not the punisher. I am a teacher. I teach kids. Expected behaviors. You mess up sometimes. My job is to teach, not to punish. I have to give consequences sometimes it's necessary. Modeling matters. Hey, we had this conversation a lot, and Josh Omang was the big one on this, talking to staff. Your staffers, you have to show pride the same way as we expect students to show pride. They expect the same kind of respect from you that you want them to give to you. We need to recognize students for modeling expected behaviors. And Middle School West, what we do is, I think the thing we do really well is we do address negative behaviors, and I'll talk about it later with staff, fine. I think that's sometimes when someone says something negative about PBIS, and in my mind, why would anyone say anything negative about PBIS? Their complaint is that negative behaviors don't get addressed. So you need to make sure you address negative behaviors. And in Middle School West, we talk about how we sweat the small stuff, and we're going to have a quick video just about PBIS in our building. There'll be music playing in the background. I don't know. I'm a course singer, so I won't. What we're seeing here is High Five Tuesday, and we sometimes go around with treats for staff and things like that. And we go to rooms and we talk to teachers and we celebrate, hey, the great things you guys do.
Fabulous.
Well, we've been doing Pride PBIS at Middle School West for 9 years. It's a great environment here, and to me it's thanks to PBIS and Pride and the culture we have in this building.
Pride is that piece that allows us to teach to a higher level for the kids, right? It helps us teach them to be responsible and mature. And when kids can figure out how to take ownership in their own learning, they can do anything they want.
Personally, I think it helps with maybe distractions in the classroom. I can learn better when everyone is following the Pride code because I can speak when I need to speak and I can listen when I need to listen.
Everyone's really formed around it. It is such a standard here, and it makes this place a really nice place to be.
So when you show Pride, oftentimes you'll get a Star Award, and then they're turned in and they draw them every month, and if you get drawn, then you win prize. So our first award goes to Lily Paul. She's right there in the white.
I helped stay after school and help Mr. Sommer set up for band one day.
And we have one for Jack Berman.
This year we've been going to different classrooms and we have kids get prizes in classrooms, and this is for positive expected behaviors. These are the expectations we have for teachers to teach expected behaviors in the classrooms, and other people teach expected behaviors. You can't just expect that people know how to behave all the time.
So when I think about Pride as a foundation for personalized learning, we've empowered kids through Pride. And that's the foundation that makes personalized learning successful, and that continues to foster that.
I think when we get to the next slide, it's going to be about structure and framework, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. As my 2-year-old says, I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, so it's important to have a PBIS structured framework. MNPBS talk, and we have a district that all of our schools in the district do PBIS. And the structure and framework has taken time to create, and they're very important. Really, I feel like PBIS started kind of organically when I talk about that dean that we had in our middle school, and how he had conversations with people about, hey, this is what's best for kids. And so I think as I talk about these specific things, just remember, it's about finding people that believe in the things you believe in, and communicating with people in your building, and letting it grow from there, and then talk to people from outside the building, and then it's that networking to help grow us exponentially. We do have a district pride team. I'm not on that district pride team. So they don't let me on it. So we have a district pride team. So pride is very important. PBIS, we use pride in our district. PBIS is very important to our district. We have a district behavior specialist who works with PBIS and visits the schools and helps do assessments and things like that. And we have deans that are administrators in all of our buildings. And that is their lane of focus is PBIS. That doesn't mean the dean runs the PBIS team. It just happens to be how it works in my building. Megan was the dean at Pioneer Ridge in our district. She ran the PBIS team, but it's not necessarily that way in every building. They just oversee it. We do have secondary dean meetings where the running thing on the agenda is we talk about PBIS and pride. We have common building structures. The main thing is teaching expectations. We do that in various locations throughout the year. The first day of the year, we teach kids how to, in the middle school, we teach kids how to show pride in the lunchroom. And the assistant principal and I take our entire day teaching kids how do you act in the lunchroom. We do things like, over those next few days, here's how you show pride in the bathroom. And the counselors take it, not in the bathroom, that'd be gross, but outside the bathroom, and they talk about here's how you behave in the bathroom. And I used to get a bus that would come out, now I just stand in the bus because the bus company doesn't want to give me a bus anymore. Why is that? So they want to give me a bus, I bring kids on the bus, and here's how you behave on the bus. Here's our expected behaviors. We do that with technology now, and social media, here's how you go to the classroom, and this is just our matrix. It's important to have a matrix. These hang up in every classroom. And here's what we expect you to do in these different locations. I can't assume that someone at home teaches their kid how to behave in the bathroom. Why would you do that anyway? Why do you even think about doing that? And so all of our schools have these matrices. And they're pretty similar, but we do allow for individuality. The next thing I think we have to go through Flowcharts. So Mr. Hauk is computer science teacher. His job at the beginning of the year is to talk about, here's expected behaviors in my classroom, but also go through a behavior flowchart. We're not trying to trick kids to get them into trouble. They should know, here's what happens when you have a minor offense in the classroom. Have a conversation, get a stop and think ticket, continues to go to the office with an office discipline referral. This is shared with all the students in the classrooms. Here are minor behaviors, here are major behaviors. Here's how it will work. A kid shouldn't be surprised when they get sent to the office. All of our schools have something that looks like this, a flowchart. So I just added these things in here. If you want to use any of these things, outstanding. What we had to do some hard work to get to places in the district, and we had to have conversations, and we had to define behaviors, because in PBIS you have to start having common language. You got to measure things with fidelity. We had a long time. We met for I don't know how long about defining behaviors. What's a major behavior? What's a minor behavior? And they were hard conversations. You have to have hard conversations, and things have to be difficult if you want something great to work. We met at dean's meetings and went through these things for I don't know how many months, and I would leave those meetings so angry. Megan would leave them angry. Megan and I were both from middle school, so usually we were angry at the same people. Because you're like, what? You don't think that's high school? You don't think that's a major behavior? And you just would get so frustrated, but we had to come to an agreement. And we did. So we have majors and minor behaviors. We went through and we agreed to things. And we had to make compromises. That's there if you look at it if you'd like. Entering behaviors in Infinite Campus, that's where we enter our behaviors. Some of our schools use Swift. Some of us use Infinite Campus. They all get entered in Infinite Campus. And I just create my own graphs. But someone in the last session, they brought up EduClimber. I don't know. I'm on the MNPBS committee in my district committee in my district, so I know that we've just entered into a contract with EduClimber. Hopefully no one in our district is watching this. I'd be giving them information they shouldn't know. And we're going to start using that, so I'm glad to hear that that does such a good job with PBIS and data. At middle school, one of the main things to do, and elementary schools do a really good job of it too. High school, they have some variations because you have kids that get older and things don't work the same sometimes as middle school and elementary school. But our middle schools and elementary schools, We kind of have a ticketing system. We have star awards. Mr. Alvarez loves star awards. These are the positive things. We want to write a bunch of these. This is for showing expected behavior. You can use this in many ways. I see it where the kids that misbehave all the time have the most of these. I don't think that's really the way to go. We're modeling behavior. So we show good modeling, we give them pride tickets, and then kids pick up on this, how I get pride tickets. And really this is what kids want. We had a big, these are perforated. We had to go to perforation. They don't look like our other tickets anymore because we had a big issue one year where kids weren't turning these in. We find in kids' lockers like 30, 40 of these things. They didn't want to turn them in because they didn't want to give them off. They had to turn them in for some drawings or some silly thing. They didn't care about the silly thing. They cared about the ticket. Some kids plunged onto these things. I'm not giving these things up. You gotta watch them. We perforate them, and they turn in one part, and they could keep a part. Then we have stop and think tickets. This is where I think we get great buy-in from teachers. We're not just doing, hey, here's the positive award for showing expected behaviors. Why? Everyone should know how to do that. No, not everyone should know how to do that. But hey, we have consequences. And we have, these are combiners that are called stop and think tickets. And so Mr. Howe gives someone a stop and think ticket for something minor, something he wouldn't send the kids to the office for, but it allows them to have a conversation with the kid. And then when a kid gets to 5 of these, we fill out a behavior improvement plan. And some people say, that's negative. You can't do that with PBIS. You can't have negative things. There's nothing negative about having a conversation with a kid. I love kids. There's nothing negative about having a conversation with a kid saying, hey, you're showing a pattern of behavior, and what can I do to help you fix that? So you can be more successful. There's nothing negative to that in any way, shape, or form.
I would call that a positive intervention to a negative behavior.
I should probably hand you the microphone. And then we do have times where kids have behaviors. We don't just say, hey, teachers, you got to keep kids in the classroom. There are certain things that are majors. You just get sent to the office. So we have a ticket system. Kids know the ticket system. You know, you have to review and share data. We have a data session later. I love data. I'm a data nerd. I can't tell you more than that. You got to recognize students and staff. We got a lot of drawings for things. It's not important that something costs a lot of money. Kids just want to be recognized. Staff wants to be recognized. I know that we have all these structures, but we do allow buildings to do their individual things.
Staff needs to be recognized now. So we didn't really plan this out. My role today, I'm going to testify. So I've been teaching for 19 years. I started my teaching career at Chaska Middle School, that's where I am today. And I've seen an unbelievable transformation in our school culture. I love my job. I love working with kids, but when we first started, the expectation was we didn't send kids to the office. Every teacher had to deal with things on their own, kids disruptive, and even at a point in time, they were telling us, don't even send them to the hallway. Those of you that teach know that we have kids that are really struggling. It's tough. It's really tough. And the other piece of that is that there really wasn't any philosophy or direction or cohesiveness in terms of how we were going to handle different types of behavior. And so over the 19 years, I've seen this transformation, and probably about, when we started down this road, like Irv said before he put up the chart with 137 office referrals, and I know how bad it was in that building. And I saw the transformation. And I started talking to a lot of my friends around the state who are in education, and I'm like, I'm all fired up. We have this great student management discipline, initiative in our building. I'm so excited. And then I mentioned the words PBIS, and it's like it punched them in the gut, and they got all negative. And most of the time, in most of the cases, it was like, oh, it doesn't work. You're just throwing things at them, you recognize them, and you don't deal with the negative behaviors and this and that. And so my observations, and I just want to share with you why, in our building, are you going to say how many years in a row we've been an exemplary school? Is that part of your?
No, it's not part of it.
It's not part of it?
I don't want to talk about that.
Tell me how many years in a row we've
I
been
don't know,
an
how long have
exemplary.
I had it? I don't know.
I don't know. We've been every year. We're an exemplary. It's incredible. If you walk in our school, our kids are just great. I tell people, seventh grade is my favorite grade. I teach seventh and eighth grade, and I say, pitch me. I can't believe I get paid to do this job. Part of it is because how incredible our culture is. And so I think the things that have made PBIS work in our building are, number one, I look at all this stuff and my brain clouds over. There's a lot of work behind the scenes to set the structure. But from a teacher standpoint, and I don't know how this happened over the years, but we have incredible buy-in from our staff. We're bought in, we're sold on this, and we're on board that we have that. And that kind of thing, when you start having success, then it's not hard to sell it to teachers anymore. We've got incredible buy-in from teachers. What I love about PBIS and some of the transformations that have gone on for me, so I think about like coercive discipline and non-coercive discipline. And I was 40 years old when I started teaching, and still old school enough to where the intimidation, the teachers had paddles, and the shop teacher, these are the holes, and it's, the reason the holes are there is so that it cuts down on wind resistance so we can get, okay, I'll behave myself. We don't do that anymore. But my shift in my brain was, I thought discipline was just something that I didn't have to deal with. My expectation was, I'm going to go in my classroom, I'm going to teach my curriculum, and all that other stuff, that's for someone else, or kids aren't supposed to do that. But it's not my job, right? Well, my transformation is that, especially in middle school, that's my job. I love that part of my job. It's helping kids make good choices. So I love the naughty kids, I love the good kids, I love the kids that slip between the cracks and the sad kids, because everything is an opportunity to help them move forward. And Irv talked about the stop and thinks, and I love having conversations with kids. I don't get mad, it's not personal, but I get to talk to them about their behavior. And that's the beauty of it. And just, this is a side note, but I used to ask why. I never asked why, because it's scary when you get the why. But I asked why. I go, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because that's really important to PBIS. They have to verbalize what they do. They have to acknowledge their behavior, because we're going to have a conversation about it. We get to verbalize it. Okay, what were you supposed to be doing? And so, what were the effects? But it all helps shed light. And I feel like it helps kids think things through. So I love the conversations. The other thing is it's so easy to give, like, nice job, attaboy, that was really nice work, I love what you did over there, I love how you helped so-and-so, or this and that. And so we get to actually magnify that with our little Star Awards. And it's amazing to me, because the kids love it. And one of the things that's happened with our PBIS over the years is we've created a culture of positive peer pressure. And our populations are changing. And as kids come in, you know, you see, especially kids that maybe come from other places, and they'll act up, and for a while, and I think of a situation with one of our young men last year. He kind of started acting up in class, and as soon as he found out that other kids didn't think that that was cool, it might have been cool he came from. And now he's having a good year this year. He's really come around, and we've seen this transformation, but it's because we created this culture. So that's my practitioner's perspective, and I love PBIS, and I will promote it all day long. Irv, cool.
Memorize that well. No punch supervision next week. How that was. I owe him $1 for something else. You know, we talk about gaining buy-in, and my kids, you know, it's, you know, we do silly things. We have staff cry at work. Guess what? We don't write as many of these as our high school does. Because middle school is just different. Kids are a little, minds are a little different. Yeah, so kids write staff, teachers, any staff, Star Wars. They write the student plan box, and they write the Star Wars for staff. So it's not just one way. You know, you do things about recognizing people at staff meetings and our data. I always keep track of who writes the most Star Wars, and the person that writes the most from us doesn't have lunch supervision that week. pick a week you don't want to do lunch supervision, I'll do your lunch supervision. There anyway. Little things that make them buy in. Also, you have to have hard conversations sometimes. There is someone that's on the PBIS team at Shannon High School who one time said to me, I don't get why these kids keep misbehaving for me. And I had to say to him, you don't write Star Awards. We keep track of every Star Awards written. I know every staff person that writes Star Awards. I hand count them out, actually, and put them in categories, and I know how many Star Awards are written by every staff person I have for the last 6 years. You haven't written any Star Awards. You think maybe you have these kids in class, they're tougher kids, they see all their other teachers writing them Star Awards for things, and others get Star Awards, and you don't write any? Maybe they don't think you're on their side. As I said, started writing Star Awards. He's now on the PBIS team at Shannon High School, and one of the leaders in the building, they would say. You have to have hard conversations sometimes. It's okay. And if you can't have that hard conversation, I am going to surround people on my PBIS team with people that can go have those conversations for you. I may not be a dynamic speaker. I may not have to be able to convey the message, but I can get this person on my team that can get buy-in. And maybe I get your elected teacher, get your people that can gain buy-in from your staff. These are just some examples of, different ways to recognize staff. The high school does something that we used to do, it's the Goose Award, get out of school early. And they draw things and, hey, guess what? It's half hour till school gets out of the last period, and goodbye, you can leave early that day. We used to do it in middle school. We said, I don't know how you stop doing that. But yeah, that's nice. When you can leave school the last period early or something like that, and someone covers your class, that's a pretty good incentive. Talk a lot about teaching expected behaviors. We do that all over the place. We have lucky enough to have an advisory where a day a week for a long time could be used for teaching PBIS and Pride. Every week, here's on the agenda. We're teaching this. Actually, we just did something for summer writing. Some of our stuff's kind of outdated. I have 5 teachers coming in, some from the Pride team, some not, and they have 50 hours to come up with new curriculum for our teacher and advisories for PBIS and Pride. So we got to teach. You always have to teach. We talk about recognizing students. We do that several ways. Hey, I'm not a big believer in extrinsic rewards. I'm not. I understand getting kids time, but kids, it's internal. They want the slips. Sure, they get all prizes with that. My focus we used to recognize kids so many different ways. They used to have Pride menus. You pick what you want. Recognize you in the lunchroom. And after 6 years, I've come to the fact it has to be about more than just yourself. So we do prizes 2 ways. We have a morning show, it's on YouTube. Kids watch it in an advisory, and we sometimes draw names there. And kids come to the office, get their Pride award. But once a month, what we do is I have students, I have people from the special education program on our Pride team. I'm a special education teacher. Hey, we have all these center-based kids in our building. We house 3 of the 4 center-based programs in our district. Remember, kids from our center-based programs go give the awards to the kids. They have a delivery system. They go into the classroom. They use their communication devices. They give the awards to the kids. And it's not just about you. It's about everyone. Using and analyzing data, I'm running out of time. I don't know how that happened. I never talk. Data is my thing. I have data. I have ODRs for day, for class period, for whatever. You have to use the data. It's so important. We're going to get some of these graphs that are in there. You can look at them. Some are from the high school. Some are from here. Can you go to the next one and the next one? So when you get to data at a certain point, if you can use data really well, you can impact changes. And I keep track of offices and referrals by hour. And this is our current data. We have some issues we gotta take care of. I guess, we have 145 office system referrals, who knows? We had a big issue with fifth hour a few years ago. I went to the assistant principal and I said, we've got a big problem with fifth hour. 20% of our office system referrals are coming out of fifth hour. Well, why is that? And we knew fifth hour was combined with lunch at that time. We've had to change the schedule since then. Fifth hour was the lunch shift, and with the elective hours, kids were going to Phi Ed during fifth hour and choir, and it was giving kids opportunities to slip out, slip away and do things. Change the master schedule. But I would never have been able to get that done without having the data. So data is very important. Oh, we do a great job in Middle School West. Yeah, I have 9 students who have 6+ office system referrals this year. And we do things with those kids like check and connect, check in, check out, things like that so they can be successful as well. Maintaining sustainability. Hey, someone talked about, hey, different things come up in schools. You're fighting for resources. We're doing personalized learning in our district. Personalized learning is wonderful. We can make personalized learning happen because we have such a good PBIS program. But they start to get the money then. My money's disappearing. How do I get any money? There's always ways to find money. You get it through the community, you get it through PTO. I don't need much money anymore. You can do this without money. But you start fighting for recognition. So you got to make sure that things go well, drift can happen. Hey, things are going great in this school. I don't have to write Star Wars anymore. You got to be on this stuff as things start going well. Make sure it stays a priority. Someone in your building has to make sure PBIS is a priority. I was at District MTSS the other day. Someone talked about framework, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to agree with me. Unless you're just, I'm not going to say that. Unless you're not going to agree, but PBIS, that should be our framework. That's how you make things, everything else happen, in my opinion. Then I got booed and kicked off the committee, but that didn't happen, though. I did say the PBIS thing, but I didn't get kicked out. At the end of the day, we believe in PBIS. It is the best thing we can do for kids, and we have to be the cheerleaders. I'm not the cheerleader type. Mr. House is not the cheerleader type, but we'll fight for it. You can't argue PBIS is a framework. It's fun to capitalize on it. We love recognizing students and staff. What a great place of school. Kids are so wonderful. All kids are so wonderful. And people get paid to work there. What a treat. That's like Mike said. I don't have a job. I get paid. I don't consider myself to really have a job. Let's recognize all the great work we're doing. Teachers are tremendous. Kids are tremendous. Let's recognize them. And data doesn't lie. It doesn't lie. PBIS works. Someone says PBIS doesn't work. It's because they're not doing it right. I'll help anyone do it right. Contact me. We're opening up to questions now. Any questions from anyone? Questions? I know you don't want to go to lunch. Yes?
What's your plan for as staff come and go and you get new pairs or new, how do you
Yeah.
get everybody
Yeah.
on the same page all the time?
Wonderful. I wish I put that in my presentation. You should present with me next time. No, what we do is our district now has started, with new teachers and new staff doing a PBIS section. I don't even know what it looks like. But in our building, we have new teacher and new orientation workshop. And I actually set aside a few hours where I come in the summer and meet with those people in a group, and I go through PBIS with them. You have to do that. Or else you have turnover, and eventually someone doesn't know what's going on. It's the only thing, it's not the only thing, it's the main thing that's important to me. I'm not passionate about a lot of things. PBIS is what I'm passionate about. And I want the teachers and parents and things come in, know everything. You recognize everyone on staff that gives Star Wars and things like that. You got to train everyone. So important. Thank you. Questions? Yes?
Do you offer mentorship then too? Do you assign a current PBIS?
No. That's a great idea.
We don't, but I'll say this, that we have really an incredible culture we have teachers that are reaching out in these areas, and especially like with PBIS, because it's such a, I mean, it's the hard foundation of our culture, right? It's how we've created a common language with common values, and so when new teachers come in, they get so much support across the board, and it's not complicated, and when you walk into something that's functioning really, really well, it's easy to get into the flow of it, right? So that helps, I think, accelerate their learning. People are helping them. But that said, Irv, official mentors would be a good idea.
And everything in our building everything has to link back to you. It doesn't have to. Our building does. We don't have a parent orientation night or a conference night where our principal doesn't stand up and something doesn't get linked back to PBIS. It's Jacksonville School West Pride, and I know it's like that in a lot of schools in our district. Everything links back to PBIS because that really is our framework, and that's why we've been so successful, and that's why we have the culture we have. Thank you.